Hello gamers, my name is KK and today we are comparing two paragon degrees of the boomerang paragon, degree number 76 and number 100. The rumor is that the difference between them is not that significant. Today we're gonna have the first-hand experience and test this thing out. I created the solo degree 76 boomerang paragon, which is, I'm pretty sure it's max level that you can get in solo, and Bountiful created the degree 100 in the co-op mode. And the results are pretty interesting if you ask me. And the reason why in this video I did not add the degree 1 or degree 20, 30 like I did in the previous one is because boomerang paragon in the lower levels is pretty bad in the later game, because I tested the level 1 or paragon degree 1 dies on round 142, and here we begin from round 140. I'm gonna add the timestamps when the round 150, 160 is reached and maybe even further, and these two do not disappoint. However, Boomerang Paragon Tier 1 is kinda mediocre at best, and you don't wanna have the low-level Boomerang Paragon. It's not worth the cost. How do you actually create the high-degree Paragons? You cannot buff Paragons by anything other than those degrees. No villages, no submarines, nothing, or engineers, anything. Alchemists will not work on these guys. Only Paragon degree can buff the Paragon towers. And first, there are 4 categories on how you actually wanna act in order to buff them. First, you wanna have 16.2 million pops on the towers cumulative, so all the towers that you have to sacrifice, in our case the boomerangs, you want to have on all of your boomerangs 16.2 or more million pops. Second is the price. If you want to get the max price stats, you need to spend on the paragon in tier 4s 250,000 or more. And as for the amount of tier 4 towers, I'm pretty sure you need to have more than 35%. And it's almost done. What you need for degree 100 is the tier 5s. 9 more tier 5s. And you might understand and guess that tier 5s are a problem, because in solo you just don't have the access to those tier 5s, whereas in the co-op you're free to experiment and have as many tier 5s as you want to. So money in terms, the regular tier 5s of course are not counted into this, so you need to have 3 tier 5s to get the basic paragon, and you will need 16.2 million pops, $250,000 spent in 35 or more tier 4 towers. And the last one, let me look it up, because I'm pretty sure it's the amount of tier 5s. And if, as it is the case in the solo, you cannot have those tier 5s, and this is why the max level is degree 76. However, in the co-op mode, you can bypass this pretty easily. But today we will find out whether do we really need to bypass this limitation, or 76 degree works just fine. Because as you could have seen, we are already past round 150, and both of the paragons are still feeling pretty strong, and I don't think there is much difference. Yes, I was correct. The amount of pops, the amount of monies, the amount of tier 4s, and the amount of tier 5s. So without the additional tier 5s, you cannot get the 100 degree paragon. Keep this in mind. Always go into the co-op. It's much easier to get higher degree paragons in the co-op. Also, Okay, around 160. Also remember that if you are aiming for the higher paragon degrees, the higher the degree, the harder it's to get. So, for example, it's pretty simple to get the degree from 1 to 30 because you don't need to do much. You can just have a lot of pops and you will be able to get degree number 33 even without any additional sacrifices such as like $250,000 in money, etc. Only the pops alone will give you degree number 33. After that, it's kinda slightly more difficult. It's still not that hard to get the degree up to 60, and after 60 you need to follow the strict guidelines in order to maximize it at degree number 76 for the solo. And you also wanna try to replicate those rules. So I already mentioned them twice. And then in the co-op, of course, you can get 9 more tier 5s, and thus you are getting the degree number 100. If you neglect even one of those aspects, you are never getting the degree 100. You need to follow these guidelines, and they are pretty strict. And now the final question: do you even need to have these paragons? And as you can see, they're pretty closely matched. I would say that you wanna aim for at least 60 or higher degree for the boomerang paragon, because on the lower levels this guy is pretty weak. But on the degree past 60, I think boomerang paragon is pretty darn strong and the difference is negligible. Of course, on the stats, you can see the difference. Like if we are comparing not the real in-game experience, but the statistical one, you're gonna see that the level 20 or degree level 100 or degree 100 is better. But as the rounds progress, as the game scales, because each round balloons and blimps become quicker and sturdier by 0.5% in the current game, and each round the boomerang paragon becomes more and more irrelevant. So this difference is really negligible. You will waste more time and effort in order to get those degree 100 paragons, and then you will profit from this. But if you are going for the max round completion, like the as far as you can go, of course go for the both degrees 100 because you have more than enough time to place them. This is kind of the conclusion, and soon you will see judging by the rounds. So my paragon to the left actually begins to struggle quite a lot against not the Omega, but round 170. Good. And it is pretty sad because okay, so to the left, the round was not 170, it was actually 165. And to the right, we have 170. And you will see this very soon. So, the conclusion. Round 170 is the maximum for degree 100, and round 165 is the maximum for the degree 76. And I would say degree 60 to 76 is gonna be ranging from round 164 to 165. So the difference is minuscule. Thank you for your attention, guys. Press the like or dislike button right now, depending on what you think about this video. Subscribe now and see you in the next one.